I take it you're a student? Yeah, so no other hobbies, just studying. I remember those days. The people that come into Conversation Club are people off the street. A lot of them are students or professionals or people that are working on their English for personal or professional reasons. And they're people that want to practice their conversational skills. And so we divide up into small groups of 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And normally we have an overall conversation topic. Like today we talked about hobbies. And people come and talk with each other and with me about their hobbies. And it's a way to practice your English without being super strict about having to be worried about getting it right or be anxious about having it all understood beforehand. And instead it's just a way to talk and to practice and to be comfortable, get comfortable with the language.
Our topic today.
So I forgot our topic today because we didn't meet last week. Last week was Thanksgiving for us. It's my favorite holiday. So we have a mix of everybody. It's not just older or younger or older women or younger men. It's we really have a little bit of everybody, and it depends on the week too. Sometimes we have more youth and sometimes more middle-aged people. But that's one of the things I like about Conversation Club is you don't have necessarily one group of people. You have the whole mix, and it's kind of fun to talk with that because sometimes you have some young college students and they have their perspective of music and life and their hobbies, and then you'll have someone who's older and they'll share what they thought from the Soviet Union or what they saw growing up. And it's kind of nice to have that mix, but it's not really just one group of people. We really have a little bit of everybody. We have artists and musicians and dancers who come, and we also have scientists and engineers and teachers, and we have just a good mix of people. Does it take a long time to grow?
Maybe 4 months.
4 months?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And in February, in the mid of February, I sit. I sit. Similar sit.
So you dig it up?
Yes. No.
Oh, you put the seeds. Oh, I see. Inside.
On my balcony.
I try to spend the same amount of time with each group, but occasionally there's groups that are totally fine. They're having a good conversation and they don't need me to help them, and so sometimes I won't spend as much time because they're doing just fine and they're in the middle of a good conversation. I'm just breaking it up. So sometimes I spend a little bit less time there, but normally I try to spend at least 10 minutes with every group and get to know people and talk to them and see what they have to say.
Very strange place, in my opinion.
It's very different.
For you, beautiful. Come on.
Why don't you guys
One day,
This is very beautiful too. How about you guys? Where would you go in the States?
What? This place.
Most of the time, sometimes people come back often, and it's really nice because I get to know them and we become friends, and I get to know about their jobs and what they like to do and their music and their hobbies and their families. And those are some of my favorite people because I see them often. And other people, I see them once and then maybe another time later or sometimes never again. And that's okay too because it's nice to see them. But it is nice to kind of see people over time and get to know them well, and I really enjoy that.
I saw in Italy they have just lunch. It's called Russian salad.
Yeah.
So crazy about it.
But it's French name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's why they call it Russian salad.
Russian salad. I don't have a secret. I really don't. I'm actually very surprised with how many people come, and I'm always flattered and that so many people want to come and talk with me or with other Americans that come, and it's really just a huge privilege to be able to meet so many wonderful people. But I think it's also a lot because it shows how much people want to learn English here, that there's a huge thirst to learn and to practice English, that people want to get better and to maintain the language that they have, and so I think that's a big draw. I don't want to brag and say it's all me because it's not. We just have a lot of really good, interesting people that are wanting to practice their language, and it's fun to share that with them. So you're in school to study how to make wine. Yes. That's very cool. That sounds like a very good job, or a very good thing to study. Do you make wines with Russian grapes here in Moscow?
Yes, we studied in Moscow or
The little comics.
Okay, very nice.
So I'm a Marvel fan.
Nice.
And I learned myself to paint manga. It's a Japan anime.
Yeah.
You know? And I like it.
Maybe I'm a little bit of both. I don't want to, or I want to help people with where they're at. So I know there's some people want to learn some idioms, or they want to, maybe they'll ask a question about how do you say that? And as a native English speaker, I can respond. But I'm not a teacher, I don't have my degree in teaching, but I can help suss some of that out. But most of all, I want to be a friend, and I want to be someone who will talk back and forth with people and have a chance to listen to a native speaker and ask questions, and also just to share in our language. Hey.
I want to ask about level 2. I'm here first time.
Okay, welcome.
I have been studying English for 3 years only.
Okay,
And,
nice job.
Not very well, but I try to improve my English. I like it. I'm interested in it.
You're doing good for 3 years. It's impressive.
So I want to ask you about a level. I think it's this level not for me. It's very difficult for me.
Was it too fast? Too much?
No, too fast. I understand everything, but I can speak very fast. I need to think about it. If I will be think about some problem, everything very tight. Will be very tight.
So what we do is when we start at 5 o'clock. And with the people that are there, we break into groups. So we put the advanced in one section, and normally we have 1 or 2 groups of very, very good advanced speakers. They speak English better than I do. They're really good. And we have one group for them. And then we'll have one group for the beginners, people that are just starting. And then the other groups we normally separate into intermediate. And there's different levels of intermediate, but we don't always get to suss that out. So we always start with advanced, intermediate, and beginning. And as people come in, we ask them to self-select to identify where your language is at, if you think you're advanced, or if you think you're intermediate, or if you think you're beginning, and to go to that group. Sometimes it's just lots of people come in and we put them in the groups where we can, but for the most part, it's people self-select their language ability and then go in groups accordingly. And if you're in the wrong group, you can always get up and move to a group that fits your language ability better. I think if we ever hit 10 groups, I don't know how I could handle that in an hour, but maybe one day we'll get there. I don't know, we'll see. It's a very creative way to get herring, vegan style.
But you know, in Cuba, for example, they eat banana as potatoes, as all things. They fridge,
Right.
Yeah, the problem was mayonnaise. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Banana and
mayonnaise.
soy sauce. Yeah.
It's a surprise. When I started this, I thought we were going to have 10, 12 people, and now we have 50 people, 50 or 60, which is huge and awesome. And it's really nice to get to know that many people. But unfortunately, it means I can't spend as much time one-on-one because I want to try to see everyone. But last time I did bring a pumpkin pie, and that was a surprise, and that was because we were approaching Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is my very favorite holiday by a lot. And so I wanted to bring something that we in America do that you probably haven't tried here before. So that's why I brought a pumpkin pie, but unfortunately I don't do that every time. And it is hard when you have 60 hungry people to feed all of them. Another dancer over there, the lady with the stars and the blue, she's a dancer too. But okay. You're a dancer too? Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I like dancing, and I used to write songs as well before,
Nice.
maybe 3 years ago, yes. And now I'm busy with my studying, work, and I haven't time to write songs because always when you write, you need to have time
And focus.
Yes,
Yeah. Hey everybody! Yoo-hoo. Okay, so it is a little bit after 6 o'clock, so we need to close. But yeah, so it was really lovely. You guys that are return people, it's nice to see you again. You guys, it's first time, nice to meet you. We do this every Thursday from 5 to 6. And what do you want to talk about next time? Are any ideas? Elections? The United States.
All right.
Sports? Okay, what? Traveling, okay. Elections again. Okay, so if you want to talk about movies, how to find a job. Okay, a good job. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's bring it back together. So if you want to talk about politics, raise your hand. There's a few. Okay. If you want to talk about sports, about the same. If you want to talk about how to find a good job. we'll swap our trade secrets here, okay? And the other one I think was movies, right? Movies? Movies, looks like movies is winning. Okay, so next time we'll talk about movies. Deal? Sweet. All right, what? Yeah, maybe we can do that. Politics is too much, I'll go movies and then back. Okay, cool. We'll do that. Politics and movies, separate groups. Thank you guys very much for coming. Thank you.